Hello, brothers and sisters. So I just got done listening to a podcast where there was a lot of friction and a lot of resistance, and I realized that in my own life, I can only speak to my experience, even though I feel this is definitely applicable to all of us. But in my own life, the importance of the role of pain and strife and basically like that resistance, that friction, how important that has been in my life for making me who I am and giving me not just the strength to be more authentically myself, but also to be more real with other people too. Because I think that because we evolved for thousands, millions of years actually, but definitely hundreds of thousands of years, as a tribal nomadic species, everything that we do in relation to one another has to do with our own safety, like securing our own place in the tribe. And that's why you get a lot of these artificial things of like, being nice and stuff like that. And I think what was illuminated in that podcast specifically for me was the difference between kindness and niceness. Niceness being more of a social thing that we do with the unconscious intention to just be liked and accepted and feel safe. Whereas kindness is basically our relation to the other. Basically an example would be like me doing something for the best interest of someone else and having that in mind rather than, oh, well, like I don't want to hurt them or I don't want to say the wrong thing. And, I'm a writer, I'm a musician, and sometimes a poet. So I really, really, really do like to pay attention to the way that I speak and the words that I use and stuff like that, even though the nature of these videos is for me to speak as plainly and authentically as possible. So no scripts, no editing, no pauses really, but even in my regular dialogue, I still choose certain words that, I resonate with more or that might help to elevate me in a certain way. And we all do this. But I guess the whole point to me getting into the difference between kindness and being nice is that like we are, especially me for my own experience, like always trying to avoid being on the wrong side of things, I guess, like not wanting to, hurt the ones that we love, or just like people in general. But that resistance helps us grow, like maybe that's why frictions and disagreements and arguments and debates and all these different things exist at all to begin with anyway, because these things help us grow in some weird way. To bring that in a more macro view, which is way harder, but like war and suffering, maybe as a species we learn and grow from that, and there is some necessity to it. But I definitely don't want to act like, oh, well, I think it's necessary for you to suffer, because I know my own suffering, while I'm suffering, didn't feel necessary. And there is such thing as unnecessary suffering. I think the unnecessary suffering comes from the dwelling on things that aren't physically here, whether it's anxiety for the future, depression for the past. But for me specifically, I know that, like a lot of my child abuse or being cheated on or being broken up with, or whatever, like all these different frictions, like certain projects falling apart or not working out, even my more recent breaks where, I tried to come at it from the most compassionate, the most understanding, and the most peaceful way possible. Pain was still unavoidable because I know that those people are still in pain because of the hatred and the grudge that they still hold against me and not being able to share space with me. And maybe I've dealt with a lot of that pain, and I've learned a lot from it too. But, maybe there is still this part of me that, wants to, like the part of me that wants to be accepted by the tribe and everything, that side, wants to sort of like, I guess, win them over or show them that, like, this, it's okay. Like we can move past this, not realizing that in my own way, I'm only adding to their suffering and adding more fuel to their hatred of me, because I'm now pushing or adding a discomfort, and maybe the resistance and the friction that I'm adding could help them grow in a way, but maybe it's also slowing down their own healing process and their own growth. And that the initial friction and falling out, that pain, that's all the necessary pain that was there. And now I'm creating unnecessary pain by, trying to share space with them again, or reaching out just to let them know that I'm thinking of them and stuff like that. Like these are nice gestures, and I know they're coming from my heart, but there's always that idea that this is definitely subconsciously self-preservation kind of thing. And I think that to be more authentic, we need to kind of like let people not like us. Let people be okay with the fact that not everyone's gonna like you, even if you feel like, oh, there's something that I did wrong and I need to fix it. Well, sometimes, and this is me speaking my experience, obviously, so I'm not going to, externalize all of this, even though I am sort of doing that with my language, but it's basically just accepting and allowing people to heal in their own way without, adding more pain and friction that's not necessary. But the whole point to me making this video is the importance of pain and friction, and that I guess the most famous quote from Buddha is that life is suffering, which to me means that you can't have life without suffering, and that suffering is a part of being alive, and it's part of the lived human experience, and it's our response to suffering and what we do with it that I think makes all the difference. So yeah, I just wanted to speak to the importance of pain, and that it's important to also not run away from it as well. Because I know that I, like many others, could easily distract himself with, food, video games, TV shows. For years, I was obsessed with toys and action figures. All these things, some of which I actually had to strip away because they became addictions. But all these things just distract us from our pain and what we're really feeling. And if we really want to heal and be more whole and be more authentic, we can't distract ourselves. And sometimes these distractions are necessary. Like, it's necessary to give yourself a break. There's nothing wrong with having things that you indulge in, and these vices aren't inherently wrong. But I think the way that we indulge excessively is just prolonging our pain. if this was more of like a scripted, like I have all these quotes ready to go and stuff like that, I'd probably be able to pull up one of these recent quotes that I saw that really resonated with me. But it was essentially just talking about how if it's your like resistance to your pain that is keeping you in that pace of pain, that's prolonging the pain. And this is another reason why I think the pain that we experience is so important, because we're meant to experience it. We're meant to get something from it. Like, the universe isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. All these things, like these bad things that are happening to us, are actually happening for us. And I'm not saying that bad things are good, but there's always something in it. Like my mom passing away, right? My mom passed away in 2006. What a tragedy. And I wanted to throw my life away because of it. But looking back now and all the growth that I did, I see how absolutely necessary it was for my mom to pass when she did, because it awoken something in me that wasn't there before, or maybe it was, but it was so buried down by all the vices I was drowning myself in that I needed that rude awakening. So, maybe in the moment it's hard for us to realize the importance of our suffering and what it means. But through journaling and through reflecting and, just the lives that we're living, hopefully eventually we can see how important it is and, realize that we are actually alchemists. We have the ability to transform our pain into power. And even though I've gotten so many powerful, illuminating things from positive messages and from positive experiences, it's my pain that is my greatest strength. It's given me resilience that I would have never otherwise developed in any sort of way, or at least on the same level. So I guess my whole point to this video is not just how important our pain is and how important it is for us to feel it and not resist it, but to also embrace it in a way and try and find the gold hidden in the shadow that we can, incorporate into who we are and just become more authentically ourselves. So, yeah, thank you.